Hey YouTube friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Today I'm going to be sharing with you what we are now using for history for our 2018-2019 homeschool year. We are using Early American History, a literature approach for primary grades by Beautiful Feet Books. I will leave my affiliate link down below if you're interested in checking them out. I want you to know that Beautiful Feet Book has sent me all the materials I'm going to share with you today in exchange for my honest review. And as always on all my videos, all opinions that I express are my own. So let's get started. So we received the Early American History Primary Jumbo Pack. That's everything we're going to need to teach a full year of Early American History for grades K through 3. So I have a pre-K 4-year-old, a first and second grader, and we have been doing school now since the second week in July, but we've only done one lesson in our history, and so far we're loving it. So if you go onto Beautiful Feet Books website, they have different literature packs. So this one is the Early American History, and there are different ways you can go about purchasing through them. You can get a jumbo pack which has everything that I'm going to show you for the full year, all the books that you're going to read, and the CD read-alouds and the composition book, everything you need to get through the full year. They also have things broken down into semesters, so you can do one semester of Early American History for primary grades, and then you can go back and purchase again and do the second semester. So a lot of people have been wondering what is the difference between the intermediate pack and the primary pack, because some of the books are repeated. But if you scroll down on the page, you'll notice that if you haven't ever purchased from Beautiful Feet Books and you're just starting in the intermediate level, then the books that are, some of the books that are in the primary will be used in the intermediate. But if you scroll all the way down the page, there is the last one. It says Early American History Intermediate Comp Pack. So those are for people who have already done the beginning level and now want to transition into the intermediate level but don't want to repeat any of the same books. So that's important to note, so that way you know that there's a difference there. So some people are just starting out with the program, some people have already purchased and don't want to duplicate books, but they want to move on to the next level. The other cool thing that Beautiful Feet Books does, if you're interested in one of their literature packs and you have between 1 and 5 books already in the pack, they ask that you call them and you can let them know which books you have, and they'll take those out and adjust the price for you. So that's really nice. Okay, so for this study pack, this literature pack, it comes with this study guide and all the books I'm about to show you. So I put these in order just so you can get an idea of how it works through history. They organize it chronologically so that you don't have to do that yourself. The first book, and we've already read the first lesson in this, is Life the Lucky, and this is a Dual-Air book. We have Columbus, also a Dual-Air book. Pocahontas, another Dual-Air book. Jamestown, New World Adventure. Pilgrim Stories, an expanded edition. Squanto, Friend of the Pilgrims. We have The Pilgrims of Plymouth. The Courage of Sarah Noble. The Matchlock Gun. We have Benjamin Franklin, another Dual-Air book. A More Perfect Union, The Story of Our Constitution. Benjamin West and His Cat Grimlikin. George Washington's Breakfast. George Washington, another Dual-Air book. The Winter at Valley Forge, Survival and Victory. The 4th of July Story. The Year of the Horseless Carriage, 1801. Abraham Lincoln, another Dual-Air book. Meet Abraham Lincoln, and then we finish up the study reading Buffalo Bill, and that's another Dual-Air book. So they have really wonderful literature that's age appropriate, that's going to walk us through history chronologically. So I'm so excited about that. What you also receive are these 4 story hour CDs, and these are radio dramatizations. So there's characters and there's sound effects, and the study guide will actually walk you through and let you know when it is that you play these and listen to these. So that's really amazing. So you get a composition notebook as well. So this is so that you can do notebooking through history. And on their website, if you go into the tab that says info and frequently asked questions, and you just click on the main tab, not any of the subcategories, just the main tab, it'll open up a bunch of different icons. If you go to the far right, there is an icon that says free downloads. That's where you're gonna print out your free notebooking activities. So you just click on that and then you choose your study guide. So for us, we have the Early American for primary grades. So we just click on that picture packet and it does an instant download for you. So it has all the pictures that you're gonna print out to go along with the study. And you may have to adjust the percent, like how big the picture is. For us, I can do that easily on my brother's printer. I don't know what kind of printer you have, but you can see and kind of play with it. But right now I believe the setting is at 100%. And for the first one, I had to go 150%. And I'll show you what the difference, well, what the picture looked like at 150%. So I just have this folder and I'm putting all the printables in here, but that's at about 150% for me. And it was just a little bit this big at 100%. So you can adjust it depending on what the activity says. If you're going to do a lot of writing on the page, you can adjust it. But all the printables are there, and like I said, the study guide will walk you through when you need to print those out. Now, while you're on the website there, you can also go again to the frequently asked questions and information main tab, and you click on that, and again it'll bring you to the subcategories. If you go to the bottom there, there's a green circle with a square and an arrow, and that is the study guide website links. So in the study guide, there are different links that can extend the learning for what you're learning in that specific lesson. So you just pick whatever study guide you're on. Again, I would pick the Early American Primary website links, and there is a list already written out for you. You can actually click the link on their page. It'll take you to the website. So they have everything organized. Looks like it starts on lesson 9, and it's not for every lesson, but it takes you through all the lessons that they have a link for. And you can click on that, and that just extends the learning for that specific lesson. So that is everything that you have. So the study guide and the books are, like I said, the jumbo pack, and it's going to take you from Vikings all the way to Western Expansion. So you can decide whether or not you want to do a 1-year study or you want to do 2. So let's look at the study guide inside. I like that the study guide isn't very thick. There is not so much information. It's not bursting with information, which I really appreciate. So in here, there's all the study guides that they have. I did notice on their website that they have a new study guide that just came out for ancient history, but that is for grades 5 through 8. If you have a kiddo in those grades, that might be something to look into. So here, it's the literature approach designed for grades K through 3, and there's just welcoming you to the program. Here's the contents page. There's a quote from Christopher Columbus. It just tells you a little bit about their philosophy and how this is a read-aloud program that uses Charlotte Mason approach to live and uses living books. And this here just explains how everything is organized in the study guide. So you can decide to do this in 1 or 2 years. So if you complete 3 lessons per week, this study will take you a full school year. But if you complete, I think 3 lessons every 2 weeks, or 2 lessons per week, you can extend it to 2 years, which is something that they recommend for the younger years anyway. I haven't decided exactly how we're going to do it because so far we're really enjoying reading it. I don't know if we're going to be able to prolong reading the books that long, but we'll see. It might work out for us. I just don't know. So here it also tells you that various lessons include additional notes and suggestions to further the study, like the links I mentioned. And they also have additional books that you might want to read. There's only about 3 suggestions. So here it talks about the notebooking and how they have pictures and maps, different reports, poetry, copywork that they can record inside of their composition book. Now it goes into the literature that's used. These are all the books in order that I showed you. It gives a little brief description about the books. Here's those Your Story Hour CD sets that I showed you. So like I said, they're each an hour long. They're radio theater dramas, which include casts and characters, music, sound effects, and plenty of excitement. Here are the additional resources. This is Rules of Civility and Decent Behavior in Company and Conversation by George Washington. And then we have a landmark book, The Landing of the Pilgrims, and then Locomotives. These are additional books that you might want to borrow from your library, or maybe you already have them or have read them. Now we go into the lesson. So there's 106 lessons in this study guide. So the first lesson here starts you off with some scripture. And then you go into the lesson and it introduces the concept of the belief of a unique person. So for this activity, the kids did their fingerprints in their notebook and we talked about uniqueness. Then I introduced Life the Lucky, the first book we're reading, and we read pages 1 through 13 and the discussion questions. There's 3 of them here, but you can talk about Leif Erikson's uniqueness and his important discovery of the North American continent. You discuss how Leif's father was strong and mighty, but he was very hot-tempered. We talk about superstitions and why people believed that evil spirits caused earthquakes and other natural disasters. And then you move on to lesson 2. So there's different virtues that they also cover, and I like how there's scripture. So it is very engaging, and it takes you through just the life of these characters that you're learning about through history. It also tells you when to pull up those links, like I mentioned, when to listen to the stories, when to do the notebooking pages, and things of that nature. So we end here with Buffalo Bill and the Western Expansion and the Transcontinental Railroad, and that ends the study. So I'm really looking forward to giving another review when we are finished with this program, if we decide to do it for the full year or when we're halfway through. So far, like I said, we're loving it. We're super excited about it. And hopefully this video has been informative to you. Ask me any questions down below. I'm happy to answer them for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.